Welcome to this lesson on Spearman Rank Correlation. Today, we are going to explore a powerful statistical tool used to understand relationships between variables when the data does not fit the standard linear model. This is the nonparametric alternative to the famous Pearson correlation. To understand Spearman, we first need to distinguish it from Pearson correlation. Pearson looks at the raw data values and tries to fit a straight line through them. It assumes a linear relationship and can be easily thrown off by outliers. Spearman, on the other hand, converts that data into ranks. It looks at the order of the data rather than the specific numbers. This allows it to measure monotonic relationships, trends that go up or down but not necessarily in a straight line. Let us visualize this difference. On the left, you see a linear relationship. As x increases, y increases at a constant rate. A straight line fits perfectly. Pearson loves this. On the right, we have a monotonic relationship. As x increases, y also increases, but the rate changes. It curves. A straight line would be a bad fit here, but since the order is preserved, Spearman correlation would still give this a perfect score. Here is the formula for calculating the Spearman rank correlation coefficient, denoted as r sub s. It equals 1 minus a fraction. The numerator is 6 times the sum of d squared, where d is the difference in ranks. The denominator is n multiplied by n squared minus 1, where n is the number of data pairs. It might look complex, but it simplifies greatly in practice. The first step in our calculation is to ignore the raw values and look at their rank. We order the data from smallest to largest. The smallest value gets rank 1, the next gets rank 2, and so on. We do this independently for our two variables, x and y. Let us look at an example comparing study hours to test scores for 5 students. We rank the hours from 1 to 5 and the scores from 1 to 5. Then, we calculate the difference, d, between these ranks for each student. Finally, we square those differences. Notice that for students C and D, the ranks differ by 1, giving us a squared difference of 1. The sum of all these squared differences is 2. Now we plug our numbers into the formula. We know the sum of squared differences is 2, and our sample size, n, is 5. We multiply 6 by 2 to get 12. For the denominator, we have 5 times 24, which is 120. Dividing 12 by 120 gives us 0.1. Subtracting that from 1, we get a final Spearman coefficient of 0.9. What does 0.9 mean? Spearman values range from -1 to +1. -1 indicates a perfect negative monotonic trend. 0 implies no correlation. +1 is a perfect positive trend. Our result of 0.9 is very close to 1, indicating a very strong positive relationship between study hours and test scores. Here is a quick checklist to help you decide between Pearson and Spearman. If you have interval data with a linear relationship and no outliers, use Pearson. If you have ordinal data or interval data that is nonlinear but monotonic, or if you have significant outliers, Spearman is the better choice because it is robust and nonparametric. To summarize, use Spearman rank correlation when your data is ranked or ordinal. Remember that it measures monotonic trends, meaning the variables move together but not necessarily at a constant rate. It is a robust statistic that resists the influence of extreme outliers, giving you a reliable measure of correlation ranging from -1 to +1.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.